What's up, Mentors Collective? And today I'm going to be talking to you digital marketers out there, especially those who are out there creating content. As you well know, in this day and age, it is hard to keep up with entrepreneurs and business owners that are pounding out content across every platform. It's a pretty crazy time to be in business and watch this vertical content surge across multiple platforms. There's a competition for eyeballs across TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels. So today I have an expert that's going to help me step up my vertical content game, and it's going to help you as well. He's also kind of an expert in AI marketing as well as search engine optimization. So I want to welcome my guest today, Austin Armstrong. He's a public speaker, CEO of Syllabi, an AI marketing tool, as well as Socialty Pro. They specialize in TikTok marketing and SEO. He's got a pretty cool YouTube plaque behind him if you're watching on video. So this guy knows his stuff, and I'm pumped to get some wisdom out of you today. So welcome, Austin, and thank you for spending some time with me.
Jay, thank you so much for having me on. It's an honor. I appreciate it, brother. We're going to deep dive today.
We're going to deep dive, and I'm excited because I've been trying to up my content game, my vertical content game over the past 3 months. Man, I've been experimenting with equipment, with styles, with editors, and it's a lot. And for the content creators that are listening to this and that are just starting or maybe a little bit into their journey, they know what I'm talking about, right? It's a tough challenge, especially with all of the noise going on in the media. But you kind of figured out a way to stand out and to grow and to get those eyeballs. So what's your secret, brother? How do you get the eyeballs? How do you stand out?
Well, consistency above all else is the biggest thing. If you're a perfectionist, it's just going to kill your momentum and it's going to kill consistency. Just post it is the biggest secret. You can improve over time, but above all else, stay consistent, because if you're willing to out hustle everyone else, you play that long game, you're going to crush everyone. So I've been posting, I got active on TikTok a little over 3 years ago at this point. I don't know if you can call it an early adopter. I guess you can at this point. I felt like I was late to the game 3 years ago, which is always funny, right? The best time to start a new platform is when you first thought about it, and the second best time is right now. So just figuring out, customer centric and client centric questions and content that you can deliver value around. It's never about you and it's always about them. Always keep that in mind. Really just clearly define your target demographic, your buyer, the emotional needs, desires, and questions that they have. And then how can you go above and beyond and create consistent, valuable, free content for them and just show up every single day? That's the secret, man. We can get into the nitty gritty of hooks and attention grabbing and editing, all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, that's what good marketing is knowing who you're trying to reach, providing value, and consistently showing up.
Right. And you hear all the experts saying that, right? Consistency is the number one thing. And that's, I guess, how you learn the rest of it too. Like you're not going to master hooks. You're not going to master idea creation, titles, unless you're doing trial and error and learning from every step of the way. So consistency, I'm with you. Number one, it's the hardest thing, right? Because especially when you're getting started and you're talking to nobody and your videos are getting no views and no likes, it's really easy to want to give up. I've been there multiple times. I still feel like I'm there some days. And you've posted over 2,500 videos on TikTok. That is a ton of content. So you must have gone through this time and time again. So I guess what I'm trying to, the question I want to ask you is, how long did it take you, and what is the average expectation for somebody who's starting out and they're putting out content consistently before they really start to get in the groove of things and get the traffic?
Yeah, so particularly for me, it probably took a little longer than most people. Because when I got started on TikTok, I had no direction. There was no game plan. It was just this hot new thing that Gary Vee was shoving down all of our throats. You got to get on TikTok. It's the newest, hottest thing, right? Yeah. So I'm like, fine, Gary, I'll get on this thing. I'll see what all the hype's about. So I got on, I was trying to jump on trends. I regretfully did a couple dances. Nobody wants to see this dance. Did some cat videos. Posted some marketing tips here and there. It was, and I wasn't consistently uploading. It would be, 3 videos today, take 2 weeks off, throw up another video on another topic that was completely unrelated to these other things. There's no direction, nothing whatsoever. And then I had a little bit of, and I did that for a couple months. I think about 3 months I was on the platform, zero traction. I think I had maybe gotten a couple hundred followers, and those were only from, again, regretfully doing like follower trains, like where you follow each other, which is just bad marketing. Just don't do that. We all fall in that trap sometimes. Don't do that. And then I had, a little bit of an epiphany, and I attended a webinar from Rachel Peterson. I say this often. I got to give credit where credit's due. Attended a webinar of hers. She totally changed my mindset on the platform, where she's like, you can use this as like an SEO tool. Answer the questions that people are searching for online.
Yes.
Decided to do a little bit of research. And I've been doing SEO for a long time. So I was like, whoa, this makes sense. Click, aha, light bulb, whatever you want to call it, right? And so I gave myself an ultimatum. I'm going to go all in. I'm only going to do digital marketing topics, creating SEO content, and only highlighting what the services that my agency offered at the time. Doing it for 30 days straight, a video a day, or more if I was feeling creative. And if there's zero traction whatsoever after 30 days, maybe this is not the platform for me. But Jay, a funny thing happens when you commit and stay consistent and teach the algorithm, teach the people what your channel's about and what you're about and what you can offer. It just starts to work. So within 2 weeks, I started to get momentum. I was testing different content, ideas like within digital marketing. I was doing YouTube tips and like Pinterest tips and SEO tips. And an SEO video took off. It did about 1 million views. Mm-hmm. And so, as any good marketer does, you A/B test, and then you double down on what works, right? So I said, okay, SEO. And then I went all in, basically 80-90% on SEO-oriented content on TikTok, which is basically a blue ocean. Nobody's talking about SEO on TikTok 3 years ago. They're really not even doing it now. And so that built me up a lot of momentum and a lot of authority, because I was sharing behind the scenes tactics. I was just giving my best information away for free so people could take that. And I've been doing it ever since. Now, we work a lot with clients, and we've seen much faster success than that. When you go in with a game plan, you're starting with the idea of who you want to reach, the problems that they're solving. We've seen accounts grow way faster than 3 months, start to build momentum and start to generate leads and emails and sales for your products and services that you're offering. So it really depends on how much of a plan you go in with and how much you're willing to commit.
Yeah, you said some really awesome things that I want to harp on. Rachel Peterson, by the way, was a guest on the show. She's awesome.
Oh, cool.
But it's funny how you take all these courses, you watch all these YouTube videos trying to learn, and then something clicks. Maybe it's just the same thing you've heard over and over again, but it just resonates better from a specific instructor. The advice oftentimes is the same, but you just need to hear it in a certain way. And it sounds like the piece of advice that did it for you was niche down. Stop dancing, stop doing cat videos. Sounds like you picked digital marketing, tried some stuff within digital marketing, saw SEO take off, and like you said, like any good marketer, you see something that works, you double down and you lean in. I feel like that's an area that a lot of people overlook. They'll put out content in 10 different categories, and if they see one pop off, they say, oh, that was awesome, and then keep doing the same thing over and over again, trying a bunch of different categories. So really leaning into what's working is super important. But I'm sure along the way, you probably learned a lot about content creation, hooks, titles, how to, like you said, train the algorithm to actually show the content to the people that it needs to reach. And there's a lot of steps along that process that you need to get right. I mean, if the content sucks, it's not going to do well. If it doesn't know who to show it to, the algorithm doesn't know because it's not keyword optimized, the title's all wrong, it's probably not going to do well. So take me through the process of like idea creation, title creation, and then content creation for you. Because it's one thing to say, answer questions that people are asking and SEO optimize those videos. But I feel like a lot of people don't know where to start looking for those questions to answer. So where do you look?
Sure. So that's inadvertently a great setup for a new AI tool that I'm launching called Syllabi, which does it. Alley up there, brother. Thank you. We'll dive a little bit deeper into that. But so basically there's tons of tools out there that you can use to find what your customers are searching for. There's free SEO tools like Uber Suggest, AnswerThePublic.com, AnswerSocrates.com, where you just put in something related to your industry and it's going to spit out a list of questions that people are searching on Google and other search engines around that. And then you can take those topics and create content around them. Particularly for short form vertical video, even more so for TikTok, the attention span is crap. It's garbage. So unlike YouTube, there's no time to say, hi, my name is Austin Armstrong. I'm a digital marketing expert. I've been doing this for 18 years. And in this video, no, you've already lost them. You have to hook them in 2 seconds or the next person will. So you have to immediately open that video up by saying 5 SEO tips that are going to get you more website traffic.
Right.
You're either going to scroll away if that's not interesting to you, or if you own a website, you want more website traffic, I've stopped you in your tracks. You're going to continue to watch. And then I just have to deliver on that opening hook. So you can use the questions that you find from some of these tools as your opening hook. What is the secret to, how do I get more backlinks, right? You can have somebody ask you that question. You can turn that question into a phrase. Here's how to get more backlinks. And then immediately just start to deliver value. If you can work in micro hooks throughout your content as well, that really helps to retain engagement.
What's a micro hook?
What I mean by micro hook? Yeah, so what I mean by micro hooks is saying something like, and you won't believe what happens next in the middle of your content, right? So it re-engages and re-hooks the audience in, right? Because now they're invested. They have to see what happens next, right?
I've seen great creators do that. Like, here's five SEO tips to get you more traffic. You'll never believe what number 4 is. And then they go in and it's like, man, I really need to watch and figure out what number 4 is. Yeah, that's a great point.
100%. Yeah. Or you say number 3 and then you're like, but if you stack this with this next one, it's going to take things to the next level, right? So you're adding context and clarity. Yeah. And just having that structure. And then at the end of the video, I like to have a single closing hook or just kind of loop it around, tell them what to do next. If you give them too many options, they're less likely to do the thing that you want them to do most. So tell them to share this video with yourself so you can take action, or follow to find more SEO tips, or follow to find more useful websites, or whatever it is that you're creating content around in your niche. Just tell them to do that one thing. You want to dive deeper into like shooting content, editing content? Where would you like to take it?
I would love to know more about your content setup. Is it mostly at that beautiful studio that you're currently in? What do you shoot on? And do you do your own editing?
I mostly do my own editing. For our clients, I have a full team that handles all of that and an editing process. But I am just so hands-on and so ingrained, I don't want to quite let it go. So I shoot everything on my phone. I actually have 2 phones. Android phone is what I typically use, but I've got my iPhone over here as well that I'm playing around with. Gotta have both in the marketing world. Just gotta test out everything. I just shoot at selfie mode. You don't have to go crazy with this stuff. All of the equipment is just a mental block. Just get started. All you need is a phone, a recent smartphone, and maybe a $10 ring light. You don't need fancy lights. You don't need a fancy background. Your message is enough. Anybody that's listening right now, your message is enough. Keep that in mind. Any phone, you can record in TikTok, or you can record on your camera, and then I edit in CapCut, which is a free app. I also used to use InShot, which I love. But even in TikTok, you can just hold that little red button down, say your first line, release your thumb, press down again, say line 2, and then you can just drag the little editor in TikTok as well. TikTok actually owns CapCut, by the way.
I had no idea.
They have some of the editing functionality built into TikTok, and they're rolling more and more out. It's actually really fascinating. And if you use both editing, you'll notice how similar they are, and that's because they're just borrowing code from it.
I thought CapCut was just ripping off TikTok. I use CapCut pretty much exclusively for like my phone editing. It's a great app. Wow, TikTok's just got a full on monopoly on the editing. That's great.
They do. They do.
Yeah. So awesome. So you shoot on your phone. I'd love to hear people who are just using what they have are usually already available, which is like an iPhone or an Android.
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of audio are you using? Do you have a fancy mic, or are you just using your phone mic?
Just my phone.
Jesus.
All I use is my phone. A little inspiration for people. I have, not to brag, but just to show you what's possible. I have about 2.1 million followers across social media. I only use my phone, nothing else.
Have you experimented with other stuff? Let me
Sure.
push back a little. Like with all the money that you're probably generating from your social media creation, all the time that you spend doing this, like why not invest in a higher end camera? A nicer mic. Like what's holding you back from doing that?
Workflow and output. So I do have nicer equipment. I've got a nice Rode mic up here. I've got my point and shoot camera for my Canon for my YouTube videos, for my ongoing stuff. But for vertical video, I actually think the rawness is helping quite a bit. And that's something that really helped TikTok explode on the scene, because before TikTok, all of these platforms were saturated. Instagram was highly polished, right? Everything had to have a filter on it. Your grid has to be perfect. It has to look stylized. All of these platforms are, everything's overly edited and it looks like perfection. And then here comes TikTok, and it was just come as you are, be who you are, be raw, be authentic, be real. And that's what people want.
That's a good point.
I think that really helps build the trust and authenticity. When I'm just holding my phone in selfie mode, I don't even flip it around. It's not even the back reverse camera, which is better. It's literally selfie mode. It's me holding it. It's the crazier thing is I hold it up to so I do a lot of like useful websites oriented content. So it'll be selfie mode. And then I literally just hold the phone up to my computer screen and show the URL. I could do that in OBS. I could do a screen recorder. I could heavily edit it. But because it's raw and it just is so quick to shoot and rapid fire a proven winning content strategy over and over and over again, nobody can outpace me. I could knock out 10 videos a day doing this in high quality.
Man, I'm gonna try and split test some stuff. I'm one of those guys. I sit here and record in OBS with my DSLR, and I'm doing a split screen with all the websites that I'm sharing. But you're right. Most of the content that I've had blow up has been me like pointing at words with my phone and my music. Just like really simple, raw stuff. So that's a great tip for short form content creators out there. And it seems like long form creation might differ a little bit with the equipment that you're using. So
I've definitely reinvested, right? YouTube is more of you got to put time and effort into this. I've had recently a lot of success on YouTube because of these vertical videos. Now I need to take it a little bit more seriously now, so I've invested in equipment. But you don't need the fancy equipment to be successful with this stuff.
And are you reusing your short content across multiple platforms? Are you doing the Instagram, the Shorts, the TikTok, maybe even Snapchat? I think Twitter's got short form content now. Correct me if I'm wrong. But what's your workflow look like once you've got that content recorded, edited, and CapCut, exported? What's next?
Yeah, so I repurpose across the board. My top 4 platforms are TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, and Instagram Reels. We have been posting them on Snapchat. They just kind of don't work for me. I'm trying to figure out Snapchat Spotlight. It's not a strength of mine, to be honest. We post them on Twitter, but their algorithm doesn't really push video content as much as I'd like. So it definitely supports vertical video content, but it's just not getting that much traction. LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn, you can upload vertical videos and post it on there. And again, it kind of depends on your audience. They're not going to just algorithmically push the video. They still heavily rely on text and business oriented content and whatnot. But the other outlier that's really effective as well is Pinterest.
Interesting.
Pinterest has always been a vertical platform. Pinterest rolled out, I guess it's been about 2 years now, idea pins, which are 60-second basically stories that are non-clickable. So you can't click on them and go to another landing page like a traditional Pinterest pin. But from an organic reach perspective, idea pins are phenomenal. So I've had a lot of success with Pinterest as well, but those are the main platforms. So I export my video through CapCut, and then I will manually upload to every platform. I don't use a scheduler. I've anecdotally found that the platforms seem to prefer manual uploading. So that's what we do with all of our clients as well.
That was actually my next question. So I use a tool called Insist. It's like a web Instagram thing. And I've got someone in Pakistan that does my scheduling, and I've noticed some conflict there. So it's a lot of work, to do your own workflow, to upload on every platform on time. So good for you on doing that. And I'll have to do some more testing to see if that's making a big difference. For my stuff, it probably is.
Yeah, I would test it out. I mean, there's nothing wrong with schedulers. They save you a ton of time. I'd rather you get the content up than not post it, right? So if you just don't have time to manually upload, use the scheduler. Get the content out there. If you have an extra, 10, 20 minutes a day, manually post them. If you have a son, a daughter, an intern, a staff member on your marketing team, whoever, get them to manually upload.
Right. How do you feel about all of these AI, like repurpose.io, I think is one of the names of the websites, or using Zapier to repurpose content across multiple platforms? So automating the entire workflow. Is that something that you've tried or something that you believe in?
Yeah, I actually know the owner of Repurpose.io. I love Repurpose. It's a fantastic tool. How I've used it in the past is, I've thoroughly tested it for the repurposing functionality. And if anyone doesn't know what repurpose is, basically you can connect all of your social media platforms to it. You can connect Google Drive to it. You can connect a lot of different,
it's pretty cool.
Different applications to it. And then you just do one initiative. Could be posting to TikTok, and then it will automatically grab that and post it to all of your other social media platforms. It also removes the watermark, which is a really cool feature within Repurpose. So one thing that we've used it for in the past is not to repost it, but just as an automatic watermark remover. Mm-hmm. So you could set it up to you post on TikTok, and it downloads it watermark free into a Google Drive folder. And then you can take that and repost it across the board.
Oh, cool. And Zapier, I think you can do something kind of similar, but they make it a little bit harder, more hands-on.
Yeah. There's Zapier has a million automations for anything that you want to use. Yeah. I haven't specifically used Zapier for our content creation, but we've used it for like CRMs and form fills and sending that to the lead handlers and salespeople.
We're big fans in our company as well. Talk to me a little bit about titles and hashtags. Do you reuse those across every platform, or are you contextualizing it or making them a little bit different for where you're posting?
Yeah, a little bit different for everywhere. So hashtags in general depends on the platform. So Instagram, I have not used hashtags in about a year.
Wow.
I don't use hashtags at all. You don't need to anymore, in my opinion, if your content's good. That also just could be because Instagram knows what my content is about, right. And they know what our clients' accounts are about. I think, all these algorithms, once they know who to put your content in front of, hashtags become a little less relevant. They're not totally important. You can add categories on your Instagram Reels now, which is far more effective, in my opinion. So you can add up to 3 categories of what that video is about. And that's way better. That's way better system that Instagram's working on pushing.
Which categories do you typically use? I remember kind of digging into those categories and seeing if my content fit well into any of them. And I guess your content might be a little bit overlapping with some of the stuff that I do. So just out of curiosity, which categories are you typically choosing?
Yeah, I think it's technology, entrepreneur, and it's like business tools or something like that.
Sounds about right. Cool.
Yeah. So those are the 3 that meet the match as much as possible. YouTube, I don't use any hashtags at all. They had told us like the first year use hashtag shorts. You don't need to do that anymore. If it's a vertical video that's less than 60 seconds, it's automatically going to get indexed as a short. You don't need to like force it. It's not going to do anything for you. Facebook, I do 4 hashtags on every single reel. Done a little bit of research on that. They don't recommend spamming hashtags on it. So on there, I'll use like really broad hashtags as well. Business, entrepreneur, useful, websites, marketing tips, and I kind of alternate between those, but super broad oriented hashtags.
Cool.
TikTok, I will use either no hashtags or 4 or 5 hashtags. I'm always testing that. I even did tests where I didn't even post a caption. I just uploaded the video, nothing else, and just saw what happens. And I kind of anecdotally think the same thing. Once TikTok knows who to put your content in front of, your caption's meaningless. It's going to put them in front of the right people. Just rest on the laurels of the algorithm. But I'll typically use broad hashtags there too. Same ones: business, useful, marketing tips, entrepreneur, websites, really broad hashtags like that.
Cool.
For titles, I do this a little bit differently. So for titles, the only thing you really use titles for is on YouTube. Everything else is kind of just like description text, right? Yep. And one of the biggest mindset shifts for me on YouTube Shorts, and this is coming from 600 failures. I uploaded 600 YouTube Shorts, and like none of them did more than 10,000 views, which is pretty good, but it's not explosive. I was too in the SEO game with Shorts. I was too much keyword stuffing, naming my titles, top 3 ways to get more backlinks on your website to increase your domain authority.
Right.
Like that's not a good short title. Go super broad. So after 600 lessons learned, I just had that epiphany, had that moment of clarity and said, all right, this obviously isn't working. From now on, I'm only going to post my top viral videos on YouTube, and I'm going to go almost clickbaity with the titles. So then I started posting videos like top 5 most useful websites.
Yeah.
That's the title. No information. It's just kind of clickbaity a little bit. Could be for everybody. Who are these websites for? What are the websites? Are they actually useful? And as soon as I did that, it popped. So I had one video that's now at 19 million views.
Holy shit.
And then the craziest thing here is I said, again, I'm just going to double down on what's working. So I literally, for about 150 days now, just post videos with similar titles. Top 5 most useful websites, top 5 most useful websites, 5 useful websites, 5 new useful websites, like similar topics.
Right.
And
well,
Jay,
milk.
Yeah, milk it. Yeah, of course. It took me 3 years to get to 5,000 YouTube subscribers. And then in the last 150 days, I went from 5,000 to 536,000 subscribers, which is where I'm at.
That's
crazy.
So helpful for me to hear. I started a YouTube channel like 3-4 months ago. And I talked to a lot of people kind of in a similar boat. And I hear from experts like yourself who are saying the growth is like that. It's super slow and then it pops. Whether that's because the algorithm figures it out, you're figuring it out at the same time, and then the timing lines up and you figure out and you lean into content that's working. So I appreciate you sharing that. That's super inspirational for me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. I think we dug through all of your content creation process. So thank you for sharing all of that. I'd love to talk about kind of where we are now with AI entering the content creation game in a huge way. I can't think of a better person to be talking about than the guy who's an expert in all of the innovative tools and creator of one now. So how have you used AI in your content creation?
Yeah. So, with ChatGPT coming out, it just completely put all of this stuff to the forefront of everybody's minds. ChatGPT, if y'all have been living under a rock and maybe haven't heard of ChatGPT, it's this amazing tool from OpenAI that you can ask it to do anything. Think of it as a personalized assistant. You can ask it to write you a 7-day diet for a male that weighs 160 pounds, that's 5'8", and is vegan, whatever, right? And it'll immediately in real time start to type all of that out. You can add clarifying questions. You can ask it to dive a little bit deeper. You can ask it all of these things. It's absolutely incredible. But there's all of these really cool ways that you can use this ChatGPT in general and all of these other AI tools to create content and help you create content. So you can ask it, you can use prompts like pretend to be a YouTuber, write me a viral YouTube script on X, Y, and Z topic, include micro hooks throughout, and then make sure the closing call to action leads into my next video about this topic. You can get that specific, and it'll write you a script around all of this. Now, you could either read it line by line. It probably needs to have a little bit of tweaking to it. Same thing, like don't just straight up use this to like write blog articles or something like that, because it is kind of pulling information, and it could be seen as duplicate content or copyrighted content and all that stuff. So use this as a tool to generate you a starting point, and then add your authenticity into the content as well. You can also ask it to generate you titles on anything that you want. If you want to go all in on YouTube, if you want to ask it to generate you scripts for TikTok, for Instagram Reels, you can ask it to do all of this stuff. I built my tool, Syllabi. What is my idea? I can't say that I built it because I'm just the simple marketer over here with an idea. But I'm fortunate enough to know brilliant programmers in the AI space that helped make this idea come to play. And so what our tool does is it shows you all of the questions with real data of what people are searching for. So the questions that people are searching for online in any industry with real data. So it's different from ChatGPT. Actually gives you the real-time Google search data. And then you can choose any of those and it'll automatically write you a video script for a short form vertical video that you can say line by line answering that topic. And then we have a content calendar in there as well to hold you accountable. So no longer do you need to wonder around what types of topics to create, what to say in your video, have your hand held to make sure that you're staying consistent. We built a tool around all of these things. There's also some crazy AI tools coming out that do things like clone your voice. Descript.com's Overdub is an amazing tool that you feed it, I think, 10 or 15 minutes of you reading a particular dialogue, and it uses artificial intelligence to clone your voice. And then you can feed it any text, any script, and it will read that script in your voice. Think about how powerful that is. And then you can use tools like Synthesia, synthesia.io, which has fake human avatars with voiceover that reads a script. And it's an animated human. It's got a virtual background. You can change the background and whatnot. You can even do this for yourself. Synthesia has the ability to clone yourself. So think about all of this from a content creation perspective. You can use tools to generate you topics, generate you scripts, generate a virtual version of you with your voice, and you can automate content using AI, doing all of this. It's going to change the game. It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy to think about, that like we're going to be obsolete as content creators maybe one day? I don't even know what to think, like whether we're headed in a good direction, and it's getting started too, is the craziest thing. Like this is like version 1 of all of these different tools. So I guess brings me into the next question, like where are we going with content creation? What do you think the 5 years down the line is going to look like? with AI, with these tools, with content creation. Should we even be bothering building an audience? Like, what are people going to be consuming in 5-10 years?
Yeah, it's hard to really predict that with how fast all of this is going. I think people are going to crave authenticity and human connection more than ever, though.
Right.
I think what we're going to see is in the short run, in this next year, maybe even 2 years, we're going to see very fast adoption in every industry. People are going to start using these tools more and more, and it's going to flood everything. It's going to flood websites with content. Google's on, red flag.
Right. Red alert.
Now.
Yep.
Red alert. Yeah.
Ran off 18,000 people.
Right now.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Google, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all these platforms are going to get flooded with artificial intelligent generated content. And so when that happens, it's going to frustrate a lot of people. And then there's going to be probably some sort of course correction that happens there. I think a lot of these tools are going to overtake a lot of our mundane tasks, which is going to free up a lot of our time to do more of the things that we as humans care about. So it'll help you create more content and give you the time. Why do we create content? To generate leads and sales for our business, to generate a lot of revenue so that we can have amazing lives with our loved ones, or selfish, narcissistic reasons, whatever your purpose is, right? But it's going to give you more time to do what you actually care about. And I think people are going to crave that connection and authenticity. So it's more important than ever to really embrace the people around you, embrace your community, start building communities online, because that's where trust is going to be, because people are going to start to not trust just content and go to this website because you saw it in this video. It's going to come from the real community and connection that you've built.
Yeah, I agree with you in a lot of ways. I think it's really exciting to be living through this, and I get pumped when I see all these new technologies and virtual versions of people talking and teaching, but I think we're going to get tired of it really quickly. I don't think we have any actual interest in watching robots teach us. We want to see other humans and connect with other humans. And I think there's a lot of people concerned about their jobs and professions and businesses. And the best thing that I think you can do right now is exactly what kind of you're doing, which is staying at the forefront of AI, learning these tools, mastering them, and being a part of the explosion and changes in the economy. Because they're not going to prevent it. We're not going to change it. It's happening. It's coming, whether we like it or not. So super interesting time to be alive.
You have to embrace change. You can't fight it. You can say, I'll never use these tools. You can say that, you can do that, but you're going to get left behind. The vast majority of people are going to test and embrace these tools. So it's an opportunity for you. There's going to be a wealth change and a technological change, a shift that's going to happen over the next couple of years. We're going to drastically speed up. All of our technology and our world, I think, is drastically going to speed up. And you can resist this, or you can seize this opportunity and be an early adopter and embrace this. So you're exactly right. Like, I see this vision, like AI tools could potentially replace digital marketing agencies, right? So what I did was I created a tool doing exactly what we do as an agency. I'm trying to get ahead of it. I'm trying to be the forefront. I'm trying to give these tools out to people so that when this revolution comes, I don't need to figure out something new to feed my family and maintain my lifestyle, because I'm embracing this technology. And I think everyone should embrace it as well.
I agree with you. It's going to be scary for a lot of people, but I'm telling you, if you're like the doctor or the lawyer who, instead of fighting it and fights using it, but actually learns it to use it as a tool to be a more productive doctor, a more productive lawyer, a more productive writer or journalist, you're going to win, and you're going to be decades ahead of everyone else in your field. Which kind of brings me to my next question, Austin. You teach SEO, you run an SEO agency. SEO is one of the things that I guess scares me a little bit with AI coming into the mix. I'm very curious of what's going to happen over the next year even. This is why Google is on red alert. SEO is essentially based on people lots of traffic coming to the Google, pages, algorithm, what it shows you, the list of things. And it feels like the way that people search for information is going to change rapidly over the next year. Even already, I've got ChatGPT bookmarked. When I have a question, half the time I see myself going to ChatGPT instead of Google. And that's just going to get worse or better, however you look at it. So where do you see SEO going over the next few years?
It's so funny you bring that up. I had that same idea, and I think a lot of people are. Why search for the answer to a question and then look, have to scroll through ads to find the website that more or less gamed the algorithm by just putting in, a bunch of fluff content and a ridiculous amount of backlinks. And then as you're reading through the article, it's really not answering your question. It's like, here's the backstory of that question. Here's a definition of your question. Here's an ad. And then here's the answer to your question somewhere in this 2,000 word article, right? It's not a good user experience. It's not a great user experience.
It was the best we had up until now. And now it's just not even close, right? I did a video the other day on ginseng, like the health benefits of ginseng. I Googled it and must have spent 20 minutes like going through different pieces of information. ChatGPT just gave me gold within like 30 seconds. It's just unbelievable. So it's like not even a close competition. So I don't see this going any other way. But sorry to cut you off. Please continue.
No. You're right. I mean, if you think about SEO, right, it's search engine optimization. It's optimizing content for search engines. Well, what is a search engine? Any platform that people are looking for information. It's people, up to this point have typically used Google, and 90% have used Google, right? But that's shifting. YouTube was the number 2 most popular search engine in the world because people are visual learners. How-to content, SEO-oriented content in a video format has dominated for a lot of years. The most recent sort of shift here is that TikTok has become a search engine. In fact, on television, they're running search-based ads now. You might have seen this depending on where you are geographically. I see these ads from TikTok now about how people are using it as a search engine. TikTok is the number 1 search engine for Gen Z. As Gen Z ages up and becomes buyers and becomes, they start to enter the workforce and they start to get more money, they're not going to go to these old traditional text-heavy search engines like Google. They want a visual representation, largely because their attention spans are lower, right? Because of vertical videos, this whole, dynamic shift. But think about it, right? If you search for best things to do in XYZ city, if you search that on Google, you're getting a Yelp list of the top reviewed restaurants. You're getting a TripAdvisor article of tourist traps. You're getting a list, the Google business listings of the highest reviewed listings. You're getting a bunch of ads. And none of it is a realistic experience. None of it is the local experience, the best restaurant that the locals go to, not the tourist traps, right?
Right.
So if you do that same search on YouTube or on TikTok or even on Instagram, you're going to be able to see a visual representation of the best kept secrets in XYZ city and recommendations on, you have to order this dish or this cocktail because it comes smoking and then they shoot the bubble gun in your face, whatever the thing or the place offers, right? It's a unique experience, but you can put yourself in the seat of that and get amazing information and better than just reading a text-based article. Every search engine every social media platform, in my opinion, is a search engine. People are just looking for information differently than they have been for the last 20 years.
Yeah, and content creators are getting better, and they know people are searching, and they're creating content for those people, just like bloggers were once creating content for Googlers. Like it's so
Absolutely.
Easy to access great information, and it's vetted by likes, views, shares, comments, and the algorithm knows kind of which content is going to be the best for you in that moment. So super exciting time to be alive, super scary if you're just doing SEO, but you're super on top of this, obviously. And I'm excited to see what's next with like Google. I don't know if you've heard much about their AI, Lambda, the one that got their guys fired for claiming that it was conscious and sentient. Man, I had an AI guy on my podcast probably a month ago. He helped develop Lambda, and he said it is terrifying, absolutely terrifying. So I am curious and horrified to see what the next year looks like for AI and for the world. But I think we're super lucky to be a part of it.
I think so too. Yeah. There's some interesting stuff that Google's doing. They just they rolled out an announcement like graphic and little video of some of the stuff. So they're bringing back the original founders of Google on the board. They're rolling out an AI like chat assistant next to Google search results as well. So you can, I guess, use it as like a Chat GPT-esque type of thing. But yeah, it's going to be fascinating. And Microsoft, I believe, just acquired Chat GPT for $10 billion. So the theories or ideas or rumors going around right now is that they're going to incorporate Chat GPT into Bing, which would be a huge advantage over Google right now. Depends on how they use it, but
I'm with you. Hey, it's a fascinating time. All right, brother. Some final questions that I have for you, specifically regarding AI. Like, what is your biggest concern with AI as a marketer? What do you think its biggest threat to marketing is?
Well, I think it's going to replace marketing agencies because it has AI is going to be able to do a lot of what agencies do. I mean, that's why I, again, created Syllabi to just get ahead of that. I also think it's going to saturate the market, everything that we've been talking about. If you're a solo creator that's creating everything just from your brain, you're not going to be able to keep up with the pace of AI. And I think initially it's going to be very difficult for people to find your content when AI content floods every single platform. It's going to be way more competitive.
I agree with you there. And obviously you found a really cool niche within AI for marketing. Syllabi is something obviously that it's a good fit for me and other content creators doing short form. Brilliant idea. If you had not found Syllabi, found this idea, can you think of any other opportunities within AI that people can start a business on? Because there's a lot of opportunity right now. The economy of AI is exploding, and my brain is just flooded with different things that you could potentially be doing. And I've seen so many AI companies popping up. Do you have any other ideas for AI businesses that could be created right now?
Gosh, there's so many, and there's so many tools and websites that are popping up. I saw a story the other day. It got a little bit of national news that somebody generated a children's book and the images for the children's book, all using AI, and then he listed it and sold it on Amazon and got some sales. So you can literally generate books using AI and sell them and list them. I see a lot of potential for affiliate marketing. I do quite a bit of affiliate marketing myself. I do affiliate marketing for AI tools and SaaS tools and websites that have recurring monthly commissions. So you can use some of these AI tools to rapid fire create content around particular tools and just promote your affiliate link and get passive affiliate marketing revenue each month that stacks entirely using AI.
I would love to see a thumbnail generating tool. I know there's tools that do
there is one. I can't think of the name of it offhand. If you give me maybe a sec here.
Yeah,
I know we're recording, but I think I can.
Let's find this thing. I'm curious. I'm sure the audience would love to figure out a way to auto-generate thumbnails too. I've had a rough time finding good graphic generation AI tools. I know there's a lot of them out there. Canva just implemented AI, and it's been not great so far, but I guess it's only as good as how you prompt it.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Okay, let me see. I just sent this over to somebody.
AI thumbnail.
Give me a sec here. Oh, where's this sucker?
I saw an AI-powered landing page maker. That looks kind of crazy. It looks brand new and like rudimentary.
I heard about that too. Yeah.
Oh, thumbnail AI. Could that be it?
Maybe.
Nah, it looks kind of shitty. Nope. Great name though.
What is it? Thumbnail.ai?
Yeah.
Oh, magicthumbnails.com. That's what it was.
Magicthumbnails.com.
Yeah.
All right. There we go, guys. I'm going to play with this guy. Oh, these look good.
I haven't tested it. I don't know how good it is, but their value prop here is that generate YouTube thumbnails with AI.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of these tools that are popping up are just kind of API integrated with ChatGPT, and they're just prompting it in a specific way that works for what the purpose is. Is that relatively correct?
Yes. Yeah. So ChatGPT through OpenAI is an open API that anybody can use, and you can just slap your own pricing and use case behind it and prompt it. Same thing with DALL-E 2, which is another OpenAI tool as well, which is an image generator based on prompt. So you type something in and it creates you art based on what you tell it to. They have open APIs as well. A lot of these tools have open APIs that you can just slap your own use case on it and sell it.
Man, cool. I could probably talk about AI websites all day. It's such a blast.
Oh, I could too.
All right, brother. For people who want to learn more about AI websites, connect with you on social media, obviously you've got a massive following, and that's how I found you. I found this guy on Instagram. No, YouTube first, and then I found you on Instagram. So cool. The content is on point. If you're listening to this episode, you have to go check out Austin's stuff, especially if you're interested in digital marketing and AI. So Austin, where's the best place to follow you? Best place to reach you?
Yeah, you can connect with me at Socialty Pro across the board. So whatever your favorite social media platform is, just search for Socialty Pro and you'll find me. And then if you want to check out my tool Syllabi and what we're doing over there, it's syllaby.io, syllabi.io. It's an awesome new AI tool that's going to help you create better, more consistent content.
Thank you, brother. We'll link all of that down in the show notes for people listening so you don't have to try and figure how to type all that in. Syllabi, Syllaby. Cool name. All right, brother. Thank you for joining me. This was a blast. I'll catch you on the other side, and thank you, everyone who listened.
Thank you, Jay. Bye, y'all.